friends. You may have heard that if you do sell similar, it helps boost your eBay sales. And I think this is actually true. So, what people mean when they say that is you end your listing, and instead of relisting it, you do, well, you choose sell similar, and that in effect relists it exactly the same, but it creates a new listing and a new item number, and in effect makes it look to eBay as if it is a new listing. And when you have a new listing, eBay favors it and shows it to more people, and it basically refreshes the listing. And this has become a strategy more and more people have been trying since eBay tweaked a bunch of stuff in the past couple major updates that have caused people's sales to slow down and caused the search algorithm to neglect a lot of older listings even worse than it used to. So I'm going to show you how to do this. There's been a little bit of confusion about what actually happens and what the possible consequences may be. It's actually pretty simple. You just have to sort of stay focused while you're doing it so you remember what you're doing. So the first thing I do when I'm going to do sell similar, as they say, is I go to my active listings and then I click through to ended. And I want to make sure that there's nothing in my ended listings, simply for the reason that I'll get confused if there is. So if there is anything in here, I'll deal with it as needed. I'll relist it if it should be relisted. I'll delete it if it should be deleted, or do whatever needs to be done. But I want to make sure that ended is clear before I start this process. I'll go back to my active listings, and I like to sort by start date and work with my oldest listings first so that they are refreshed. They're usually very algorithm neglected. And if you're not seeing the start date column, you can go into customize and select it so that you'll see it. So use the arrow to sort so the oldest show up on top. And what I do is work with 200 listings at a time. I go down to the bottom and set it to show 200 listings on my active page, which is the maximum. And then I will select all and do this little procedure to all of them. Now you might want to just do one or a couple till you see what you're doing, or you can do lots, or you can do little. It doesn't really matter. So for the sake of this exercise, I'm just going to do all 200 because that's what I was going to do anyway. So I select them all, and I'm going to go under actions and end listings. And it asks me if I'm sure, and indeed I am. And this is not canceling listings. It's not canceling a sale. It's not doing anything that should have any effect on your account for better or for worse. It's just ending listings, which you have every right to do at any time. So I see 200 listings were successfully ended. So now I'm going to go back into my ended listings page, and they show up here. So I should have 200 things here. Yes, 1 to 200. So what I'm going to do is select them all and say sell similar. And it brings up the bulk editor with all of those listed. And this is actually good because it will show you if there's any errors you need to fix that it hasn't otherwise caught. You can just select them all again and say submit all. And am I sure? Indeed I am. So I've just submitted all and it caught an error. So 199 were submitted successfully, 1 did not update. So I'm going to say fix errors. And let's see what the problem is. It violates a duplicate listing policy. So that strikes me as something that's good to know. I probably did, in fact, list this twice. for whatever reason, and I'm gonna just delete it. Checked here, and I'm gonna say action, remove listing. Yes. Good. And then everything's all set. So it took me back to unsold, which is in fact the same as ended in this case. And here's my 200 listings that I just sold similar. So I do need to delete these, but I'm going to just double check under active to make sure that they listed for the sake of my own sanity. And I see the number has increased by 200 or 199 in this case. I'll switch it so that I see the newest listings and look for today's date. All right, March 11th, that is today's date. And I see these are not things that I in fact manually listed today, so they must be those ones I just did sell similar on, and I recognize some of them. They won't necessarily show up in the same order that they were before. It just, when you use the bulk editor, it submits them in whatever order the computer finishes each one. So it might be a little different, but they are here. My number all adds up to the right thing. So I am now going to go back to ended and delete those so that I don't get confused and double list something or whatever. So I'm going to select all, and I've selected 200. That includes the one that was a duplicate. And I'm going to say delete. And it will delete. It might give me an error. See, it usually does. But it does it anyway. Yeah, something went wrong. Please try again. And I hit delete again. Hopefully this problem will go away by the time you do it. Okay, so then I just X out of it, as we say. And I'm going to refresh the page. And in fact, they are deleted. It just likes to give me that error. So if you get that, just bear with it. Hopefully that will be fixed soon, but I've noticed it's pretty consistent. Anyway, now I don't have anything in unsold. I don't have anything in ended. And I do have everything back in active. And I have 200 listings with today's date that I didn't have a moment ago. That should be getting some attention from the algorithm. So that's good. And I've noticed this really does actually help sales pick up a bit. So give it a shot. All right, hope this was helpful. Thank you. Please subscribe and like, and thank you again, and take care.